AP bust down, Rolly playing Jamie and Belly. Lakers all decked out as they made their way off the bus and into the arena earlier on. And the game arrival, sponsored by Express. Dress like a pro. Bustling Philadelphia on I-95, a gorgeous night for basketball. Welcome to the city of brotherly love. Welcome to 2K Sports. We have the NBA coming up. Great to have you with us. Kevin Harlan here, and I'm joined by Greg Anthony, Clark Kellogg, and David Aldridge, who's reporting from the sidelines. DA, it's all yours.
Well, Kyrie Irving rediscovered his maternal lineage with the White Mountain family of the Standing Rock Sioux tribe. He lost his mother at a young age, and by connecting with her roots, he's found a piece of himself. The tribe gave him the name Little Mountain. Evan?
Great story, DA. Thank you. Clark, great cards tonight for both teams. Did you ever spend any time in the backcourt at any level when you were playing?
No, I was a ball-handling forward, Kevin, and it served me well, but I was not a guard. I was a forward that could dribble and pass fairly well.
So you were ahead of your time, because that's all we see now in the NBA, right? Guards are not always bringing the ball up.
Yeah, you know, somebody just mentioned that to me, Kevin, that I was maybe a tad ahead of my time back in the late 70s.
Now the Lakers starting group. Irving is out there with Heel. And it's Nikola Jokic. Then it's Pascal Siakam. And it's Drummond in at the four-man position for the 76ers. Jimmy Butler is out there with Paul George. Then it's Chris Middleton. And then there's Steven Adams. And it's Embiid in at the 5, roaming the paint. And Greg, when you look at the top perimeter defenders in the game today, how high does Jimmy Butler rank on that list?
Look, he's in the top handful, no doubt about it. Multiple all-defense selections. He is a true two-way terror.
Shooting two.
A free throw drops for Butler. And you look at Jimmy Butler. He's about 6'8", about 230 pounds. Great size on the wing.
And he keeps himself in tip-top shape. His strength, one thing I'm not sure the casual fan even recognizes.
And so Butler nails both of them.
And there's been some turnover in the Philly front office, but through it all, some bold moves.
Yeah, I'd agree with that, guys. First, the process, and we heard a lot about that as they were stockpiling draft picks and losing a lot of games. It was maybe the most drastic rebuild in NBA history, at least as I can recall. Then new leadership in Elton Brand, who's done an outstanding job pushing all their chips into the middle to go for it. Great credit to him for not sitting back. In both cases, a plan and a direction, and that's what you want from your organization.
And it's sent back by Drummond.
A high motor keeps Drummond engaged defensively. He doesn't want to let any shots go in.
Yep, it counts.
And once he got to the 10, I think he was surprised to find himself that wide open.
Well, this early, they should be showing a lot more energy on defense. It's not there.
Now here's Butler. Outside, George over Irving. That's good for George on the assist by Butler.
Boy, Butler doing a nice job taking advantage of the open man. Good quick pass there.
Irving passes to Drummond. We're just about 2 minutes into the first quarter. Healed against Butler, and Drummond is right there.
This is what Drummond is known for, fellas. I mean, assertive, aggressive, relentless, hard-working. He's just a dog at offensive rebound.
Now here's Butler. Outside, George. Down it goes for his third basket in as many tries.
Well, he is looking confident. Love how they're using him so far.
And you know what? They're going to keep using him. I mean, he'll be the centerpiece of their offense today. You can bank on that.
Here's Siakam. And the pass to Drummond. Over Middleton. Trying to get open is Irving. The short one's on the money.
A tall and powerful big. Drummond has a natural ability to finish inside.
And the 76ers decide to take their first time out here.
And the most improved player in the league last season, Pascal Siakam, got better in every statistical category.
Well, while we have a second, let's show you the list of players who put up the most points last year. Second is Paul George. Fourth, Joel Embiid.
And what an option either of those two guys give you. They're both excellent safety valves when an offense is struggling.
And it's those diamond-in-the-rough players that so often elevate the top teams. And, Greg, that's what the Raptors found in Pascal Siakam.
No doubt. The 27th pick back in 2016. Now a full-time starter on a rookie contract, just over $2 million this season. He is due for a big raise.
Los Angeles.
Well, I tell you what a well-designed play, executed beautifully too.
And here's George. He'll bring it up for Philadelphia. The Lakers beat them last time when these two teams met in Los Angeles.
Yeah, tough game on the road. The guys you're defending, obviously comfortable shooting in their own building. You've got to find a way to break their rhythm.
Yeah, and it's not easy to do. Much easier said than done, but they're capable of making it happen. It just comes down, I think, to will and desire.
Shooting foul as the whistle blows. He'll shoot 2 free throws.
I don't know if there's a player in the league that has better handles than Kyrie Irving. As a matter of fact, his handles are as good as any I've seen in the history of the game. Smooth, crafty, cunning. Man, it is so much a joy to watch this guy do his thing.
And that drops, so they now lead by 1. Clark, there's nothing like opening night. Preseason in the rearview mirror. Now the games count for real. Terrific time.
Yeah, exciting for everybody because hope springs eternal for all teams in the league after you get beyond preseason. And the games do count. They start calculating and documenting W's and L's.
And what an advantage. You really feel like you can always trust him when he's at the line.
George looking over the floor. And there's the call on Kyrie Irving. That is his first foul of the game. Here's Butler. 5 to shoot. Middleton for 3. The shot's good on the assist by Butler. Butler's got his 3rd assist on the night.
Well, I like seeing Middleton stroke it from downtown. That release of his, pure as white-driven snow.
Now, here's Siakam. Adams, some nice D.
Well, you know, stopping him is never easy to do, but the defense was strong there.
And George, here we go. And he banks in the layup. George has got 8 points.
At the offensive end, he's been assertive and efficient, guys. A big reason why they hold this lead right now.
George against Irving. 3rd time is not the charm. 0 for 3 from the floor so far. And here we go. It's Butler. Again, Philadelphia.
And that's what I like to see from Butler. Going right up with it. No hesitation at all. Ready to shoot as soon as he catches it.
Outside Irving. Back to Hield. Jokic kicks to Irving. They need this. Trains it from beyond the arc. He has 5.
It sure was textbook, and Irving is fantastic in the screen roll. A solid decision maker in these sets, and he also can put it in the basket himself if he needs to.
Now here's Butler. Middleton looking it over. Back to George. Over Irving. George, no good.
Clearly the defense could have been better there, guys, but he also needs to convert that.
Siakam passes to Irving. Here's Drummond. Pass to Jokic. Shoots over Adams. And Jokic with the basket on the assist by Drummond. and it's all knotted up.
Jokic fully capable of knocking down the mid-range jumper. Tremendous confidence from here. You got to D him up better than that.
Now here's Butler, and here's George for three.
Not quite enough defense. That time around, just lucky he was off.
And on the way from Irving for three. That one doesn't go. And Philadelphia the other way now.
You know, he looks a little off-kilter to me this quarter. Still trying to find his rhythm.
George double team. Butler. The 18-footer is right on the mark. Butler's got 6.
And it's good to see George concentrate on getting the ball to the open man. Excellent floor awareness.
Heel the pass to Jokic. And the rejection by Embiid. And now the 76ers on the break. Here's George. It's Drummond with the rebound. Los Angeles is gone 1 of 3 from beyond the arc so far in the game. Down low, here's Jokic, and Jokic throws it down.
At his size, Jokic a threat to throw it down, showing you how dominant he can be inside.
Pass to Butler. Back to George. The kick outside to Butler. They'll get another chance. Siakam against Middleton. Back to George. Over Irving. And it's George missing.
That's one he knows he should have drained.
On the wing, Irving. Defended by George. And Drummond throws it down.
And I like the timing, Kevin, that Drummond has on these alley-oops. That's not as easy as he makes it look. He knows precisely when to leave the ground to receive the pass and finish it off.
Now, here's George. 8 points for him. Middleton dishes to George. Adams outside. On deep. It's hauled in by Los Angeles. Jokic has got 6 rebounds in the game.
You know, after the Sixers were knocked out in the second round for the second straight year, there was some speculation, and I think unmerited, whether Brett Brown might be let go as head coach. The players voiced their support and made the decision easier to bring him back, and I think it was the right one. He's done a fantastic job as the leader of the Sixers.
And Philadelphia making a change here. Lowry's checked in. Big group substitution here for the Lakers. John Collins, he's checked in for Drummond. DeRozan comes in for Pascal Siakam. J.J. Redick's checked in for Buddy Hield. And Russell Westbrook subbed in for Kyrie Irving. So it's the Lakers now. DeRozan's shot is off. And Coach Brown, Clark, captained the ship through some real rough times in the beginning.
And you know, Kevin, I think for that reason and the job he's done here recently, he's earned the right to see this thing through. It's a result-oriented profession. I know that, and I understand it. But this is a team built to contend, and that's the expectation. And I'd like to see Brett Brown have a chance to bring it to full fruition.
Here's what Philadelphia's going with right now. Valanciunas, he's checked in for Joel Embiid. Ivica Zubac has checked in for Adams. Harris checked in for George. And it's Booker in for Butler. Now Harris, after Westbrook's missed 3, pass to Booker. Now here's Valanciunas. Just 5 to shoot. Back to Booker over Redick. No good from Booker. The Lakers in the lead. Now here's Westbrook. The shot comes out. It's deep from Valanciunas. Here's Harris. Another miss, and they desperately need a bucket.
And that is a textbook example of how to defend your rim.
And you know, guys, I love his fight and grit on the interior. I mean, he never lets a shot go uncontested.
Some tough offensive sets. They want to turn it around.
Yeah, right now you just need a bucket to get some momentum.
Ball's not loose. Now Valanciunas. No points in the game yet for him.
And when he rises up, he knows he's probably going to get a clean look. It's a matter of executing.
You know, for me, it doesn't get any better than seeing big fellas who can use the mid-range jumper to their advantage.
On the wing, Harris. close in defending. So it looks like the 76ers will retain possession here. And so here is Philadelphia, trailing by 2. Lowry kicks to Valanciunas. Booker against Redick, down to 5 on the shot clock. Fade, no good from Zubac.
Look at him, and he's a little hit and miss from there, even without a defender in his face. No guarantee.
And he gets the whistle. 2 free throws coming up.
Lowry had a chance to check out stats for Lowry. He had a strong showing last season. Averaged about 14 points, 8 assists, and 5 rebounds. And his playmaking really stands out, making his teammates better offensively with his terrific passing.
Yeah, he's outstanding at controlling the tempo. I mean, keeps the ball moving, and of course, finds the open man.
Second.
And Russell Westbrook is as explosive a guard as we've seen in the history of the game. An incredibly gifted scorer who can also punch it on you.
Outside Collins. 44 seconds left here in the first quarter. And foul on the shot. He'll shoot 2 at the free throw line. And growing up about 15 miles south of the Staples Center, DeMar DeRozan idolized Kobe Bryant, Clark, and patterned his game after him.
And you can see evidence of Kobe's game in DeMarcus's game. You think about the footwork, the ability to post up, the moves and counter moves, the balance and strength. I think he owes a lot of that to the Mamba.
It's common to see wing players improve their perimeter shooting in the league, but DeMar DeRozan's most striking growth has been his ball handling and playmaking. He's been dynamic with the ball in his hands.
And it's the 76ers with the ball. 4-point game. We've got 33 seconds left to play in the first quarter. Booker outside. He kicks it to Harris. 6 to shoot. From deep three-point range. Doesn't go that time.
And you can tell he thought he had a little more space, but the defender was right there.
You know, that's a trademark of his defense. Quick to react, close down the shooter, and then affect the shot.
And here's Westbrook from the arc. And that concludes the first quarter of play. Los Angeles on top, ending the first quarter with a 13-4 run. The second quarter coming up right after this break, so don't go anywhere. Nikola Jokic, a former second-round pick, turned star in the league, talks about what the game means to him.
Basketball was passion, love.
In basketball, Greg, a big deal in Jokic's native land of Serbia.
And I love his creativity. There's an artistry and a freedom in how he plays the game.
And thanks again for tuning in. If you're just joining us, we've played through one quarter of action so far. And from what we've seen so far from the Lakers, guys, what are your thoughts?
Well, this is the edge that great rim protection can give you.
Yeah, you know, you have a guy in there blocking a bunch of shots or multiple players blocking shots. It causes the offense to think twice when they go up for shots in there.
They've got Tobias Harris. Ivica Zubac is out there with Jonas Valanciunas. Then there's Lowry. And it's Booker in at the 2-guard spot. That's the group on the floor for Philadelphia. And let's catch up with our sideline reporter, David Aldridge.
Well, Kevin, Jimmy Butler has made several all-star teams, but he remains single-minded in pursuit of his bigger goal. Butler said, "I just want to win a championship. That's all that matters. I didn't do it in high school. I do it in college. If I don't win it here, then I'll go to 50 and over league someday. But I got to win a championship at some stage." Kevin?
I like that attitude. Thank you, D.A. And it's Westbrook missing. Now the 76ers with it. haven't allowed any points in the second quarter. Here's Lowry. Porzingis with the block.
You know, when Porzingis combines quickness with his reach, getting off the floor like that, he can block just about any shot.
And we'll get a look at how the hustle stat game has been going for Los Angeles.
Well, in the first half play, they're closing out aggressively, blocking shots, a key indicator of their activity on the defensive side.
Another big aspect of their game tonight has been the fast break, transition opportunity. They're really keeping it up-tempo so far.
Here's Westbrook, and the rejection by Zubac. Redick against Booker. And there's the pass to Lowry. Tries again, and foul on the shot, so he'll get a chance at the line. That one on Collins.
Boy, Valanciunas, a mountain of a man, a solid big guy who scores well and provides a lot of length and muscle inside.
Mark, last couple years, the three-point shot has been absolutely huge, a gigantic weapon for a lot of teams. You live by it, you die by it. Some teams can accept, though, the ramifications of a bad shooting night.
Yeah, I think it's too big a premium not to really overweight the three-point shot. A 50% premium on that particular field goal when it goes down. But I do like to see balance. Attacking the rim, spacing the floor. I love to see guys and teams shoot the mid-range shot as well. But the three-point shot and the way teams use it and shoot it is here to stay for sure.
To the paint. Westbrook with the block. And he's able to get it back. And so it's DeRozan. He'll bring it up for Los Angeles. They trail by one. Right at the free throw line. And that one hits back iron.
And they haven't been able to turn it into a big lead, but their rebounding advantage is starting to add up.
Yeah, still close. With their tough play on the boards, we're certainly seeing the effort.
Pass to Harris. Shoots over DeRozan. Harris, no good. Los Angeles has gone 1 of 2 on three-pointers here in the second quarter. So Redick passes to Westbrook. Shoots the three. Sinks the triple. Westbrook's got 6 points.
How about that? Redick showing the same kind of accuracy on that pass as he has on his three-point shots, which is quite remarkable. That's how you drop a dime, though.
And the 76ers call time here.
And perimeter shooting never more valuable. And that's been J.J. Redick's M.O. all along. An elite marksman who can hit from anywhere.
And the 76ers with a completely new group now. Big group substitution here for the Lakers. Jokic has checked in for Porzingis. Pascal Siakam comes in for John Collins. Buddy Hield, he's checked in for J.J. Redick. And it's Kyrie Irving in for Russell Westbrook. And in today's game, if you don't have poor spacing, your offense is going to struggle.
They call it gravity, the ability of outside shooters to attract defensive attention. Redick, one of those you don't leave for a moment.
DeRozan gets the bucket.
Excellent decision that time by DeRozan. No wasted time at all, and no reason to. I mean, when you're as good as he is from mid-range, let it happen.
Passes it to Adams. George against Irving. That's a floater go. Here's Embiid, and the bucket is good. Three-point play chance here for him.
Embiid is very, very effective on the boards. Carves out so much space with his body to get to those rebounds.
And he's got his first chance at the line here. Well, free throw dropped for Embiid. And you look at Joel Embiid, Clark, for a player standing 7'2", probably close to 300 pounds. You've got to be impressed with how well he moves out there.
And Kevin, that's the first and most eye-catching thing about him when I watch him, is how nimble he is on his side. You notice it at the offensive end because he's got great skills and footwork, but defensively, he doesn't pick up a lot of cheap fouls primary role of rim protector for his team.
Lakers shooting their 7th and 8th free throw attempts for the game right here.
And looking at last season's numbers, down below 70% as a team from the line.
For DeRozan.
How about this, fellas? I mean, DeRozan's aerial skills, his bounce, obvious from a very young age. His first dunk came when he was in the 6th grade, and he won the dunk contest at the high school All-American game. Major bounce.
DeMar DeRozan hits them both. For Philadelphia, they've gone 5 of 11 from the field since the beginning of the second quarter. Hield against Butler. Pass to George. Kicks to Middleton. 5 on the clock. The 76ers need to get off a shot, and it's George missing.
You know, I wouldn't be surprised if he gets yanked soon. I mean, that's how bad his shot selection has been.
Here's Hield. And the call on the shot sends him to the line. It's on Jimmy Butler.
And really, for a long time, the specter hanging over Buddy Hield was he's the player who was traded for DeMarcus Cousins. Hard billing to live up to, but he has made some giant leaps with his development.
And Hield has slowly but surely turned himself into one of the elite shooters in the NBA.
And guys, he is locked in as he is from deep with his height and release. Is definitely, he's the kind of player who gets better as his teammates get better around him, and he is just now finding his stride.
The pass to Irving. From 13, and Adams sends it back, and they get it back. 76ers trailing. Here's Middleton. The putback. It's good on the putback.
There you go. Relentless pursuit of the ball. I love it. He never stopped working.
And the Lakers decide to take their first time out here.
And they just can't seem to get going offensively.
And I think this timeout, guys, is where you draw up some plays that are guaranteed to create some high percentage shots.
And with the moment, let's check out some stats for Hield. Good season for him last year. He put up about 20 points per game last season, 5 rebounds and 2 assists. And really for him, it's about putting in the work and improving his game.
Yeah, and I think he wants to. It's one of those things where you either want it or you don't, and he does.
Here's DeRozan. 2 free throws coming up, and they call the shooting foul. Clyde Clark, game is on the line. 1 free throw to make to win a big game. Who is up there for you?
I'd go with your colleague and mine.
Oh, yeah.
Since he's no longer in uniform today, I will go with Steph Curry and Malcolm Brogdon.
Great name. First free throw is good.
And, you know, quite a bit of turnover for the Lakers in recent years, guys, from the front office to the coaching staff. I think it's always important for an organization to have a common voice to speak in stereo and have everybody in proper alignment from the top down to the court.
Butler feeling out of it. George, that's a 2-pointer. The shot's good on the assist by Butler. George has got the game tied up here for the 76ers. And as the Lakers have looked to fill positions, Clark, a real affinity for candidates with the Lakers history.
Yeah, you know, that's exactly right. They view it as a family, but here recently, they've expanded their options and have looked outside of past Laker pedigree in terms of filling some key spots, which is part of what you have to do if you're going to move forward and be successful.
And, you know, there are so many things to like about Jokic's game, Clark, and his footwork is right near the top.
I would agree with that, Kevin. His footwork is exquisite. I mean, it is top shelf. This guy does not get enough credit for his pivoting, but his hands are great. His touch is phenomenal. He loses a lot of defenders when he's back to the basket with that. that footwork of his. I tell you, I was so impressed when I locked into him with my isolated camera during the playoffs. The Joker is no joke.
Whistle blows, bucket is good, and he'll have a chance at the line to make it a three-point play. That'll put Paul George on the line. It's going to be on Kyrie Irving. Philadelphia shooting their 6th attempt at the charity stripe in the game.
Well, for so much of what Paul George brings to the table, you have to start with his defensive impact. He is one of the top defenders in the league at his position, if not the best.
And the shot goes in.
Jokic doing a nice job consistently finding the open man.
And George kicks to Embiid. Back to George. Shot clock at 6. Here's Adams. Rebound the Lakers. Jokic just got the glass covered here tonight. 11 boards for him. You look at George with all he does, Greg, you sometimes forget how good his perimeter defense is.
Well, I mean, his teammates and coaches won't ever forget about the impact he has on that end. Even when George isn't scoring or the shot isn't falling, he is still a monster on the floor just with his defense alone.
And a lot of contact on that one, so he'll shoot 2 here. One is on heel.
Well, when you shoot it as good as Paul George shoots it, it's hard to stay down on his shot fake. It's really remarkable how he gets defenders to bite on it more times than not.
He throw good, Paul George.
And they're getting to the line a lot in this quarter, guys, and it hasn't been by accident.
Yeah, I don't think it's an accident that aggressiveness correlates with playing better. So the aggressiveness is starting to pay off.
Andre Drummond's checked in for Buddy Hield. And both free throws good for Paul George.
That's a great job getting to the line here. You know, he didn't have a single attempt in that first quarter because I thought he was tentative. Much more aggressive here in the second.
To the inside, Drummond. Pass to Siakam. Lakers working the ball around now. Knocked away, and it goes out of bounds. Last touch by Embiid. Outside DeRozan. On the clock. Drummond trying to get himself free.
Well, you know, they're in the lead, but he's still been frustrated from an offensive standpoint.
Hooked away and stolen by Drummond. Now the Lakers on the break. Siakam looking around. Outside Irving. Latrey. Rebound by Butler. And so it's Butler with it. He'll bring it up to the 76ers. On the wing, George. Butler against Irving. And it's Butler with the jam.
I love watching Jimmy Butler play. This guy is just fun to watch. I mean, he's a tremendous dunker, strong physical body, and he knows how to throw it down.
George against Irving. Stolen by Middleton. Here's Embiid. Good, and the assist goes to Middleton. Embiid's got 5.
And after that ragged first quarter, they're getting some momentum, some confidence. Nice play.
Yeah, and you know, the game of basketball, as you well know, Greg, guys, it's a game of runs. So their offense is starting to move in a positive direction now. Nice upswing here.
And Irving is comfortable running the offense. When a teammate's open, he's quick to whip it around and get him a good look.
George passes to Butler. 1:43 left in the first half. And contact on the shot, so he'll be shooting free throws here. And Clark, throughout your NBA career, you always wore number 33. How'd you end up picking that number?
Well, it goes back to my idolization of Lou Alcindor at the time, who is now known as Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. He was the first big, graceful guy I saw do a little bit of everything in his days at UCLA, and then I digested all kinds of books and stories about him, and just really admired his work on and off the court. Because he wore 33, I chose 33.
Kyle Lowry, he's checked in for the 76ers. And then for the Lakers, J.J. Redick's checked in for Siakam. And Russell Westbrook is subbed in for Kyrie Irving. DeRozan against Butler. Some solid defense from Butler. The 76ers lead. Outside, George. 1:25 left in the second quarter. Adams finds George. Over Westbrook. Another miss by Philadelphia.
And he rushed that one, no doubt about it. To be out of position, you could see the frustration on him.
Thrown down with force. Drummond with great feel around the rim. Now, usually he's one of the leading dunkers in the NBA because he doesn't waste any time or motion in there.
Embiid, the pass to George. Clock at 6. Cuts it 5. Gets an open look and hits. George has got 9 points in the quarter.
And since the first quarter, we've seen them ease off on that long-range affair. And frankly, that's probably a good idea.
I know there's some teams out there that would prefer to just shoot their way out of a slump, but getting a few to drop from in close or inside the arc is often a good way to get your whole offense going.
No question, he got bumped on that shot.
Yeah, the officials didn't need to talk that one over. It was obvious.
He's shooting free throws, number 4 in 5 here.
And going back to his performance at the line last year, guys, 84% as a free throw shooter.
Yeah, those were fine numbers he posted at the line. It was hard to find fault with anything he did from the stripe.
Throw good, Paul George.
Yeah, nice job of drawing the contact and creating opportunities at the line.
My kind of hoops. Straight ahead, playing downhill, and physical.
And the 76ers making a change here. Valanciunas is checked in. The Lakers also changing it up. Porzingis is coming in for Jokic. And Collins subbed in for Andre Drummond. That's also good. So he hits both free throws.
And every single season, Paul George has kicked his game up another level. I think he's a premier two-way forward who gets it done at both ends.
Porzingis can't hit. And the 76ers with possession. They're on a 12-4 run right now. And there it is for him. Butler's got the lead up to 6 now for Philadelphia.
Jimmy Butler showing us some nice moves and strong handles, too.
Redick with the 3. And the last shot before the buzzer is off. And we've reached halftime in this one. 76ers lead by 6. It's time now to go courtside as we send you over to David Aldridge from the sideline. David, take it away.
Thanks, Kevin. Kyrie, they got themselves going in the second quarter. How do you get control of the game back?
It starts with not getting the ball out of the net. We got to get stopped, and it starts in that end. That's where it's really going to start for us. And we just got to continue to compete.
Kyrie, thanks a lot. Back to you, Kevin.
Thank you, David. And we'll be right back after halftime to start the third quarter. See you in just a bit.
And now, the 2K Sports Halftime Show.
Ernie Johnson here with Shaq and Kenny, and a favorite time of the year as we're halfway through one of the first games of this fresh NBA season. For the 76ers, the first quarter was pretty even. They only had a couple rough stretches, and as the first period came to a close, they had a 4-point deficit. In the second quarter, they were easily the better team. The points started coming for them in bunches, and they built a 6-point lead by halftime. And from what we saw so far from the Sixers, Kenny, what's your takeaway?
You can see where the priorities are. Rebounding, and then more rebounding. They made a concerted effort to get the glass clean.
Shaq, your take on the Lakers.
Well, the reserves came in to play like starters. They were some big points off the bench. It'd be no surprise to see them get more minutes in the second half. They definitely deserve it. Though sometimes when you get more minutes, you get exposed. We shall see.
And that'll do it for us. The third quarter about to begin with Kevin Harlan standing by. We'll catch you on the flip side.
We've got second half action for you, and if the next couple quarters are similar to the first, this one could go down to the last possession. It's been one outstanding game from George.
No problem fighting his way to the rim in this one. A lot of points in close.
Yeah, you know what, guys? They gave him too many free runs to the hoop in the first half. I think they've got to be a lot tougher on him. Body him up. Be physical with him.
Checking out the group for Frank Vogel to start the second half. They've got Drummond. Kyrie Irving is out there with Heel. And it's Nikola Jokic. And it's Siakam in at the three. And here we go. It's Butler. Pass it to Embiid. There's the triple. And there's the foul. It goes on Jimmy Butler. That's his third foul of the game. Lakers trail by 6. Outside Irving. Over Jordan. They grab their own miss.
Yeah, just a solid job on the backboard. They are really controlling the inside.
Well, they're working the glass, really battling in that area of the game, and that's helped them stake this lead. Starting slow in this half, 0 for 3 so far. You'd have to go far and wide to find any fan that doesn't enjoy watching Nikola Jokic play. This big fella is so smooth. He's got guard skills in a big man's body, and his game is so efficient. I love watching him work.
And that one's good by Butler.
A well put together Butler proving that he's just a little too strong there, not allowing the physical defense to stifle him at all.
Adams against Irving. Shoots over Adams. Count it. And the 76ers lead has been cut down to just 6 points on the bucket from Kyrie Irving. And with Jokic, passing and playmaking, Clark, are his trademarks.
Well, I tell you what, Joker is some kind of special as a big guy. His passing and touch and field and shot making, he really impressed me with all of that. He does everything you want from a center on the offensive end of the court and does it in his own unique, special way. He's a delight to watch.
The 11-footer gets hauled in by Adams. Adams has got 9 rebounds in the game, getting it done.
Just 1 for 4 from the field, not the way they wanted to start the second half.
First one at the line is good. And good on the second, so he makes them both. Lakers trail by 10. They've been struggling here on offense.
Yeah, a bit of a dry spell for sure.
Irving kicks to Jokic. It doesn't go for him. Excellent D there from Jordan.
The edge on the glass is the difference. It's allowed them to build this lead.
And really a reflection of their superior effort level to this point. It seems to me they've gone after this win a little bit more.
Baseline jumper. No good off the back of the rim. Philadelphia leading by 10. And Butler, here we go, scores the bucket. He's 7 for 11 and continues to look good.
And he's having quite the quarter, converting at a really high percentage.
Healed the pass to Irving. And now we're 3 minutes into the third quarter of play. Siakam outside. Just 5 on the clock. Lets it go with the 3. Out of bounds, it'll be 76ers ball.
And you look at stats for Adams. Last year, getting it done. 6th in field goal percentage, 16th in rebounding, and he was also among the top 20 in steals. That ability is more unique than folks realize. Very valuable defensively.
And you know, back to his tremendous efficiency shooting last season, top 10 in the league, his dead-eye shooting creates so many opportunities for that offense. There's Embiid. Intense shot, and he's fouled pretty hard on that shot, but he's got the chance to pick up the points at the line. Andre Drummond picks one up.
Really the right play defensively. If you can't block, force him to the line.
Yeah, exactly. Prevent the layup, give them a little bump, and then maybe they'll think twice about coming into the lane next time. And if they don't think about it, at least they might be distracted by your presence.
Booker, he's checked in for Philadelphia. So Adams nails both of them.
We're still waiting for that first miss from the line this half.
100% since halftime? Come on now. I'm not sure this lead's going away anytime soon with that kind of marksmanship.
Timeout called the Lakers. In addition to going over the game plan and making whatever necessary adjustments have to be made, Greg, this timeout also the time for players to get rehydrated or hydrate for the first time with some Gatorade. Plenty of basketball still to be played here, and they have to get recharged.
That's a great point. Without proper hydration, a player can completely run out of gas down the stretch of a game. And that's something that none of these guys can afford to have happen. If you're going to battle all the way to the finish, you have got to be hydrated.
And that one's good, Irving.
I love the three-point shooting of Irving. Excellent at dialing it in from deep, and you've got to respect his range.
Outside, George, and it's sent back by Drummond. And that's out of bounds. Philadelphia will retain possession. Tobias Harris is checked in for Chris Middleton. Booker outside. George up top. Moore on the shot clock. Hands hauled in by Los Angeles.
And listen, sometimes even the best of us are going to miss the easiest of opportunities.
Siakam finds Jokic. Nice passing here by Los Angeles. Irving against George. Lets it go from deep. It's hauled in by Harris.
Having a hand up in your face makes such a difference to a shooter.
And, you know, he's a guy who knows how to defend the three-point shot. He's not going to just give it to you. He's going to make you earn it.
Irving, good on the shot, and that shaves the lead to single digits. Irving's got 17.
Yeah, you know, you got to appreciate the speed of Kyrie Irving. I mean, incredible at finding different ways to get to the basket, and he is not afraid of anybody.
Here's Booker. Good, nice job down low. Booker's got his second bucket of the game to go.
They're taking it right into the teeth of the defense, and it's a defense that's starting to look frustrated.
Well, they should be. I mean, it has not been a good performance for them at that end of the floor.
Pass to Jokic. They get it back. Philadelphia leading by 11. And here's George. Jokic with the steal. Outside Irving. The pass to Drummond. Scored the bucket. He's made 5 so far, shooting a very clean 5 of 7.
And you're not going to pass up that kind.
Embiid dishes to George. And he drops in the layup off the glass. George has got 23.
And George is very capable at knocking down difficult shots. I mean, because of his size and stroke and ball handling and his added strength, he's able to shoot over good defense and knock them down.
Irving double team to the left side wing. And Jokic wide open. He shoots. Boy, he just hasn't been able to get his shot to fall.
No doubt the fight's there. They are trying to battle back, but he's just really struggling this quarter.
And Booker kicks to George. Embiid with it. 5 points in the game. George passes to Adams. Now here's George, defended by Drummond, and it's George missing.
And he's been way off the mark this quarter. It's been ugly.
Siakam outside. He dishes it to Irving. Here's the three. The rebound by Steven Adams. Adams has got rebound number 12 here already in the game. George double team at the top of the key and B. Here's Harris. Andre Drummond grabs the miss. Drummond's got his 8th rebound here tonight. Here's Irving. Nice touch on the bank shot. Irving's got it back down to a single-digit deficit for the Lakers.
And the mid-range shot of Irving is impressive. He has wonderful form with that shot.
Adams finds Booker. Now George. Jokic defending. That 3 off the mark. And here's Hield. He'll bring it up for the Lakers. Irving drives in. He's off on that one. George with the defensive effort. That's good from Booker on the assist by George. George has got 5 assists in the game.
They need a bucket in a big way here to regain some confidence.
Los Angeles calls timeout.
Well, it's been an express lane to the rim. Coach can't be happy about that.
And, you know, I think he's going to tell them simply, we have to show more fight on the interior. That's the top priority right now.
And some changes here for the 76ers. Valanciunas is checked in for Embiid. Ivica Zubac has checked in for Steven Adams. And it's Kyle Lowry in for Tobias Harris. Big good substitution here for the Lakers. John Collins, he's checked in for Jokic. DeRozan comes in for Pascal Siakam. J.J. Redick's checked in for Buddy Hield. And it's Russell Westbrook in for Irving. Now let's go to the sideline and catch up with our Hall of Famer, David Aldridge.
Well, Kevin, tampering is a touchy subject, but it's a word we're hearing more often. Teams want to retain their star players. They know that there's always talk during a season. Now, teams can only express interest in a player when he hits free agency. Players can talk amongst each other freely all season. Star players like LeBron James are tied into their front offices. Some people wonder if there's much of a difference between what the player says and his team is thinking. Kevin?
Point, David. Thank you. For 3, Westbrook. It's hauled in by the 76ers.
And a big lead for them on both the scoreboard and the backboard thus far.
Yeah, rebounding has been a big key in this one, Greg. They've asserted their will and have taken control on the glass.
Here's the dish to Drummond. Back to Westbrook. Looking to get back on track here. And that'll be 2 free throws coming up. Officials on the call with the foul.
Yeah, the defender all over.
Greg, he got him good there. I mean, that's why the shot was so far off.
And a moment now to quickly take a look at the offensive approach for the 76ers.
Anytime you get as many points in the paint as they have, you know you've got a good thing going and you just want to keep it going.
Yeah, but also, they haven't missed a beat in terms of their fast break game. That's been equally as effective all night long. You know, hard from start to finish on that play. Defended the shot and then finished it off with the rebound.
George double teamed. Here's Zubac. He's been quiet so far. Still no points in the game. Porzingis with the block. But he stays with it. Second chance effort. Zubac trying to break loose. Nice shot by George.
Yeah, what a quarter for him. I mean, he's found his rhythm and he's really riding that wave right now.
Westbrook dishes to DeRozan. Pass to Porzingis. Outside Collins. He kicks it to DeRozan. On deep. Philadelphia grabs the miss. Zubac has got 7 rebounds in the game. The shot misses. So 22 points, so one free throw coming up.
And it's the fearlessness of Westbrook. It's really refreshing to watch. When he's deep inside, he just goes right at you.
Chris Middleton's checked in for Paul George. The free throw drops for Russell Westbrook.
Out of Wake Forest, John Collins quickly emerging as a top-notch scorer. A tremendous finisher, and his range extends out beyond the arc.
Shots good by Middleton.
The obvious work ethic of Middleton on full display there. I mean, the quick release off the pass, which leaves the defense without much to do.
Westbrook kicks to Reddick. Outside, Porzingis. Outside, Collins. Westbrook against Lowry. And the rejection by Zubac. And that one goes out of bounds. Touched by Zubac. 16 seconds left to play here in the third.
Yep, that's another miss for him. They're behind in this game largely because he shot so poorly.
Valanciunas, nice pass, led him to the rack perfectly for the layup.
And, you know, Lowry looks to set up his open teammates beautifully. Nice dime there, and it really keeps the team tied together nicely.
And so it's Philadelphia with an 18-point lead as the quarter comes to a close. Defensively, they have gotten after it, contesting every shot going up. While we have the chance now, folks, let's go to our State Farm assist of the game.
And how about the floor generalship right here? I mean, showing us why they're always in good hands when he's the man in charge.
Well, clearly he's the guy that stirs the drink for him, and that's how he does it, with his dynamite passing skills.
And 1 quarter to go in a game that to this point has not been an evenly fought contest. All fueled up and ready to go as we set the lamps courtesy of catering for the fourth quarter. So on the floor for Philadelphia, they've got Jimmy Butler. Steven Adams is out there with Chris Middleton. And there's Lowry. And it's Zubac in at the center. Here's DeRozan. Rebound by the 76ers. Zubac has got rebound number 9 now. What an effort here tonight. Feeds it to Adams. That one's not going to go. Collins with some nice D.
And thus far, they've managed to overcome an off game from him offensively.
Here's DeRozan. Great D that time for Middleton.
And the activity he shows around the rim is why he is such a respected defender.
And you know what? He's not going to give up an easy finish at the rim. I mean, that's just against his constitution.
Here's Westbrook and finished off by Westbrook.
And you know Westbrook has an outstanding vertical. Once he gets to the launching pad, rim, beware.
Some changes for Philadelphia. Embiid comes in for Ivica Zubac. And it's Paul George in for Kyle Lowry. Westbrook against George. Middleton outside. And there's the foul. It's on Steven Adams. That's his 3rd foul of the game. Lakers trail by 19. Outside Westbrook. We've gone about a minute and a half into the 4th quarter. To the middle, here's Collins. Adams, some nice D. And so George will bring it up for Philadelphia. 22 is their biggest lead. Westbrook with the steal. Passes it to DeRozan. Here's Porzingis, defended by Middleton. 6 on the shot clock. Knocks it loose. George with the ball. Now guarded by Porzingis. Oh, and the jam by Butler.
Well, if you wonder why Butler is an elite player in this league, let him find his comfort zone and then see what happens.
4th quarter of play. We're about 2.5 minutes through it right now. Here's Westbrook. Porzingis trying to get free. And it hung on the rim, but wouldn't fall for him. 3-pointer. Butler. No there. Lakers trail by 21. Near the three-point line, it's Westbrook. And again, no good by the Lakers.
Scoring efficiency has been low, and it's not helping them on the scoreboard.
Well, they're pass to Adams. Back to George. 6 to shoot. Fires the three. Nailed from three-point land. George has got 33.
You can really see that his confidence is at a high level here in this half. He didn't have a three in the first.
And the Lakers call time here. We've seen some ugly incidents last few years, Clark, between players and heckling fans. Can anything be done to fix it?
I think security in the arenas is important. Fans oftentimes that go across the line, interacting with players are usually fueled by alcohol. I don't know how you can control that element of it. The incidents are few and far between. We have seen a few more, but I still don't think it's an epidemic. But I think security, and then each team and each franchise should really be educational with its fans about what's acceptable behavior and what won't be tolerated.
Los Angeles making a switch here. Jokic has checked in for Porzingis. Pascal Siakam comes in for DeMar DeRozan. On the heel, he's checked in for J.J. Redick. And Irving subbed in for Russell Westbrook.
And with that three, his second of the half, he's equaled his total from before the break.
And George kicks to Butler. It's hauled in by Jokic.
And that is a textbook example of how to defend your rim.
And you know, guys, I love his fight and grit on the interior. I mean, he never lets a shot go uncontested.
Has to heel. Outside Irving. Shoots over Embiid. And it's Irving missing.
Well, he's got to be disappointed in the result there. I mean, the defender really didn't make any impact at all.
And it's sent back by Jokic.
Outstanding timing from Jokic there. Then the superb reach to wipe away the shot.
And he has just been in a flow offensively. Terrific game. He has been the X factor.
Butler with the ball. Guarded now by Irving. Butler against Irving. Butler dishes to George. Rebound the Lakers. Now here's Hield. Irving for three. Gets the three-pointer to fall. Irving's got a pair of threes here in the fourth quarter for the Lakers. George passes to Middleton. And here is Butler. Clark, there are a lot of factors a free agent puts into selecting the new team that he goes to. Talk about the factors that are basketball for these free agents.
Well, I think you could see some of them if you gave it some thought, Kevin. You think about it, market size, nightlife for some guys is important. Business opportunities when you think about places like Silicon Valley or New York or Los Angeles. Season of life for the individual player in terms of his family and where he might want to reside after he's done playing. So there are a number of different things that contribute to free agents making moves from one team to the next.
Now, did you have a family Clark that he played the last couple of years in the NBA?
We were without children, but it was Rosie and I. We've been married 4 years, and then our family started right after I retired.
Here's Irving. And the rejection by Embiid.
Boy, supported by great vertical explosiveness, Embiid continues to dominate as a rim protector.
It's Butler that time on the assist by George. George has got his 8th assist here tonight.
They're finding lanes to the hoop now with consistency. 5 buckets in a row from the paint.
And on the flip side, Greg, the defenders have to show more fight on the interior. They've got to offer more resistance here.
Field against Butler. Yes, that goes in. Butler's got 16 points here in the second half.
Yeah, 3 consecutive field goals have come right at the rim. The D had better start buckling down.
Hield the pass to Jokic. Collins kicks to Irving. Shot clock at 5. the Philadelphia 76ers. Butler against Hield, and a missed layup.
And typically he has the touch to finish when he's in tight, but not sure on that possession. He has a lot of points from long range this half. He's taken advantage of a really tired defense.
Now the pass to Embiid. Inside. To get open is Butler. And Adams with the slam.
Boy, the floor awareness and passing ability of Embiid, very impressive. And he continues to grow as a passer.
At the elbow, Irving shoots from 12. And that one drops for him. Irving's got 11 here in this quarter alone.
And really the scoring this quarter has been just off the charts, doing all he can to bring him back.
Embiid wide open. Another three for Philadelphia.
And you know, when Embiid is knocking it down with consistency from there, watch out. He's got great touch.
Lets it go from 14.
And every miss finds its way to his hands. Well, what an impressive performance.
I'll tell you what, those are crazy numbers, guys. I mean, believe me, I was a good rebounder in my day. It is not easy to corral that many boards in one night.
Hield against Butler. And here we go. Butler heading to the hoop. And it's Butler with the chance.
You've got to be more careful around Butler. I mean, he's terrific at bouncing over the opposition and taking the ball away.
Outside Collins. Jokic passes to Siakam. 5 to shoot. Kicks to Irving. Will it go? But they recover it. Philadelphia's gotten off 4 3-pointers in the final quarter, and 2 of them have fallen. Irving against George. Pass to Middleton. Back to George. And George with the stop.
You know, once George gets on a roll, he's just absolutely relentless, showing you how dominant he can be when he gets hot.
Irving passes to Collins. Mark, do you think the NBA should consider expanding the use of replay? I know you personally hate to slow the game down, but you also want the calls to be correct.
Well, it depends on the circumstances, Kevin. I like the fact that replay is available and it helps enhance the ability of the officials to get calls correct. Expanding the use of replay, though, has to be done very judiciously. There are a couple of areas, goaltending would be one, where you take a look to see if that's the case. And I think flow of game takes priority over trying to get every single call right just because you think technology gives you a chance to do that.
Back to George. And foul on the shot, so he'll get a chance at the line. That one on Collins.
I like how George looks for contact. He kind of seeks it out. He doesn't back away from the hard physical contact. He knows he's going to get a chance to get to the line, and he does take the contact.
First one calls for it. And Philadelphia will go for a different look here. Rashawn Holmes, he's checked in for Joel Embiid. Millsap comes in for Steven Adams. There's a check in for Chris Middleton. And it's Derek Jones in for Jimmy Butler. Los Angeles has gone 3 of 5 from beyond the arc since the final quarter's gotten underway.
Well, guys, this was never really a contest. Just a total obliteration, if you will. You can safely say mission accomplished now for the 76ers.
Their hard work on the glass paid off.
I tell you what, they're both excellent rebounding teams, and it was a tough battle underneath all game, and I think ultimately that earned the W.
And it'll go down as their first official win of the new year.
And you can tell they were ready for this one today, guys. There was something extra on the line, and they wanted it.
Greg, I know exactly what you're referring to. I mean, with this victory, they'll get the edge in the season series by taking 2 of their 3 meetings.
And what a tremendous standout performance it was for Paul George.
It was the kind of game for him that all scorers dream of, where the basket seemed as wide as a barrel. Rough shooting night tonight, but you can't fault him for the effort.
Holmes kicks to George. To Holmes. And Holmes throws it down.
And it's just competing. You know, giving your best when it matters most.
Yeah, you know, once they got victory in their view, a huge injection of energy and a great run to finish it off.
Outside, George on the wing, Jones. So it's Philadelphia winning this one easily. They won this game going away. They were the better basketball team by far tonight. All right, David, great job. Thanks so much. And that's going to do it tonight, folks, for our broadcast.